gaskiya ya ji wala bai ganu e bane ide no she banja abun da to taci sai nan na ganci i me di to ga evo ni guba ga kunza ne da gi gutsun na fikato kunwa mu yan goga na yi ga gba yi ci ja abun ji foji fani turun ci nan ga yede ji amfani be yin e bobo yi waga yi ga da wata e ji tamako e ti ga yan no ci gona ya yi wala sere yi ene za ida ga mu ji pata no ji kuje no amfa ndoro no ga ji ne za gina wa wanu.
We have done several things. We've approached our brothers and our sisters whom we know are closer to the government, requesting for all these things. Pipeline water, road projects, and other infrastructure. We need a company here. We need to be engaged doing something. We don't want to be idle. Because an idle mind, they say, is devil's workshop. And we don't want to be one. So what we are saying is that we've approached them. We have an SSA to governor in this community. We have SSA to the deputy senate president from this community. And we've met all these people. We've told them, we need this, we need that, we need that. Let them help us tell the government. Some of us were not close to them. There is no how to let them know all these things through the people we know are closer to them. We've done that. Nothing else. We won't fight, we won't protest. We'll keep on doing it. We are calling for meetings, inviting them for meetings, town hall meetings, addressing our needs and things that we need.
The involvement of people in governance process will go a long way to ensure more efficiency in service delivery. Community members, media practitioners, and government officials made several recommendations.
So zanga chugabe gagawa gigaga kila unchi jinja kola kiko kila chi jin kaza oje damu na wa gagan energy no gyana ko energy na wa gina boy yiwa gijina ile yamanci a ce jin yando ci ne ga community development na a ce har a je to nusa community development project munci gwamnati ce lawa lalaci ce wato a ci ce lotun community munci kwale da ndo ga dubba ku a ce yi munci ga hakin gaya kai yija kai ce ja hakin gaya lalle ci.
The media, because as we are here to enlighten the people in everything, there is people that lead the forefront of the campaign or the push. The civil society organization have to come out with a clear map. The media is like a conveyor, a vehicle. Then after that, you put it in the media in terms of dissemination of that education or enlightenment through the media. And I believe it's through this way we could affect life, we could let Nigerians be educated on what is supposed to be, what is their right, and what they should ask for at any given point in time.
When it comes to the project execution in the town, strangers are the ones doing the work of the youth. We believe that we can do it, and that is why we are crying out that we should be involved.
As such, to foster efficiency in public sector governance, increased citizens' participation is non-negotiable.
So the essence of us being here together is to educate you that you have a right. That is the essence of being here. And you must demand for your right. You don't demand for your right with violence. It's wrong. You demand for your right in a peaceful way. And when they know that you know your right, nobody will take you for granted.
And if you're talking about who should participate, it is all of you, it is all of us. We need to know who and who are doing what. What are they supposed to do for us? Because I won't be the one to use it. It's you people that will use it. So you need to make sure that it meets what we want.
So, Biko and Obuna Otwine Neba Ugwa, Obuna problem only. Feel free to visit our office at a new market. When you come, we'll look at you and see what, if the state has cannot intervene immediately, we see what we can do to make sure our children are not suffering.
It is evident that collective efforts amount to achieving desired outcomes, and this equally applies to governance. Whilst government budgets and implements projects for the people, citizens in turn can ensure what are being provided are closely monitored and that feedbacks on impacts gets to the appropriate authorities. The future we foresee and long for lies in the ability of mutual collaboration and active involvement of all stakeholders through provision of information and support, participation and feedbacks.
So that's why you need to be part of it. So what you need to be part of it is to have access to that information on that school or that primary healthcare center that is being constructed. I will make sure that also this information are given to the headmistresses, headmasters, village heads, and also put it in local newspaper or wherever that other people can have access to it. So we want this conversation, this feedback from you people. We want you people to tell us what kind of information you need to be able to influence the quality of service delivery that have been delivered to you.
PPDC strives to provide this support system for both government, citizens, and the private sector by bridging existing gaps for inclusivity, increased collaboration, efficiency, and dignity for all.
Here I do our decoration. Number driver, all with the toll free number. When I'm not joking, a local dishing matanya. Number driver, all our toll free number. You need real airtime. You got to you credit you pay Zaga. You pay Mother Zagi. You go each mama project in the award now community in 2018. I only go there, I got Batigi, Nigeria. Each projects now go on in the community, which are in the area. In Pabani, in High I have a community based mentors. No more Poda. I use it to have done Poda. Yes, a fire picture. Has a child picture, has it around and I do implement the project. Japan has to do information now. Call us
on our Budeshi toll free 0800 283 3744 to report on poor implementation of public projects within your community. Tweet at our Twitter handle at ppmonitorng, and on Facebook, Procurement Monitor, and on Instagram at procurement_monitor_Budeshi to engage and learn about our work. Visit our website at www.procurementmonitor.org and read more about our programs. Log on to our open contracting portal at www.budeshi.ng to source for contractor data to track projects within your community. At PPDC, we educate, we mobilize, and we empower for integrity in public sector governance. Together, we will make governance work for the citizens.
The ancient city of Abuja, now Suleja, was a Hausa principality founded by the former ruling dynasty of Zazzau Kingdom, with its capital at Zaria. By 1804, when Sheikh Usman Dan Fodio launched his Islamic reformist jihad in the Hausa land, the jihad did not extend to Zazzau Kingdom because the then king of Zazzau, Ishaku Jatau, accepted the Shehus call to reform Islam. As a result, this protected and prevented his kingdom from the jihadist conquest. However, by 1806, when Ishaku Jatau died and his son Muhammad Makau succeeded him, he repudiated the oath of allegiance his father, late Ishaku Jatau, gave to the jihadists. As a result, his kingdom became exposed and susceptible to attack from the jihadists. It became only a matter of time before the Fulani jihadists came calling. Therefore, by 1808, the jihadists invaded Zaria, the capital of Zazzau Kingdom, in a surprise attack while the people were observing Eid al-Kabir prayer outside the town, and it was forbidden for them to carry arms. Caught unawares, Makau and his men fled and wandered for 20 years, moving southwards until they reached the present-day Suleja, because it was thought that the jihad had already taken over the northern parts, believing therefore that moving southwards was a more safer option. While they were fleeing, the jihadists were pursuing until they arrived Zuba, presently in the Federal Capital Territory, in 1825. On arrival at Zuba, the chief of Zuba, Muhammad Gwabo, welcomed and sheltered them. Makau and his men encamped outside the gate of Zuba, from where he fought some of his vassal states, which included Jiwa. On his departure from Zuba, he proceeded to Panda, Toto, Gulu, and then to Lapai, where he fought the new rulers of the Lapai Emirate. It was in that encounter that Makau was killed on account of treachery and betrayal by his men, who deserted him because they thought that he would not support their quest for acquisition and sale of captives as slaves after their conquest.
Before he died in the battle with the Lapai forces, it is said that Makau called the attention of his two brothers that were with him. One, Abubakar Baki, because he was dark-skinned person, Abubakar Baki, and his younger one, Abubakar Fari, because he was light in complexion. So it is said that Makau advised the elders of his brothers, that is Abubakar Baki, not to rule until after his younger one, Abubakar Fari, ruled. So as a result, after Makau was killed, now Abubakar Fari gathered the remnants of the Zagi people, about 3,000 of them, and then he led them in search of a new settlement. The Zagi people were the original Hausa people of Zaria. Just like the Hausa people of Kano, you call them Kanawa. The Hausa people of Katsina, you call them Katsinawa. The Hausa people of Gobe, you call them Gobirawa. So the Hausa people of Zaria were called Zagi.
Having gathered and inspiring the Zagi people and army, Abubakar Fari Jatau led them triumphantly to the present site of the city of Suleja, founded the town in 1828, and proclaimed himself the Emir of Abuja. It must be known that the present city of Suleja was actually named Abuja by Abubakar Fari Jatau, who coined the name from the first 3 letters of his name, Abubakar, and the first 2 letters of his surname, Jatau. This was the original name of Suleja, Abuja, Ja meaning fair in complexion, for Abubakar was a fair in complexion person. The city of Abuja was said to be a virgin land by the time the Zagi people arrived. It was not inhabited by any ethnic group. Nevertheless, the Gbagi, the Koro, and other ethnic groups were all living at surrounding settlements such as Abuchi, Kurmisarki, Madala, and Diko. Until Abubakar Fari Jatau led his people into the present site, the place was dreadful and fearful for people to live in. For obvious reasons, the location of the present site was suitable for the Zagi people. First, it was a valley surrounded by hills and rocks. Therefore, the hills and rocks provided security for the new settlement against any external aggression. Second, the vegetation provides fertile soil for agricultural activities such as farming. What more, the area enjoys adequate rainfall, which also encourages immense farming activities. There are also rivers which provides opportunities for economic activities such as fishing as well as irrigation farming.
Before 1976, Abuja, presently Suleja, extended to as far as Abaji borders, to as far as Karmo borders, to as far as Jere in present Kaduna State, to as far as Paiko, just some 20 kilometers to Minna, the state capital of Niger State. So it was a vast emirate, you know, before the FCT was created.
In 1828, when Abubakar Farid Jatau inaugurated his administration after the founding of the state, he operated a monarchical system of administration with the king at the head. He was both the political and religious leader. He was assisted by 4 principal officers, namely Madaki, who is the second in command in the administration of the kingdom and later emirate as from 1904 till date. Others are the Galadima, Wombai, and Dalhatu. Since the emirate was an expansive one with so many villages and
TV Guide is exclusive on the National Broadcasting Commission. Its mandate as the sole regulator of Nigerian media. Dr. Thomas Daba then and Ishak Modibo Kawu now. This edition also features the king of stand-up comedy in Nigeria, Ali Baba. NTA standards to get ready for election transmission after decades of abandonment. Find out from the DG transactional elections in our political space and evil wind that blows no good. DG, National Orientation Agency, calls on TV Guide, your indispensable companion, x-rays the impact of social media on electioneering process as electorates present their expectations from incoming government. Meet some TV professionals behind the screen and other inspiring stories in sports, entertainment, and lots more. Grab a copy at the vendor near you or NTA stations nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
Chief. Good morning, sir. You're here already?
No, now my spirit day, my body day for house. What kind of question is that? Were you not the one that fixed this meeting for 8 a.m.? You are now coming by 10 a.m. and start asking me job questions.
But Chief, now, I'm sorry. Don't you also go late for meetings sometimes? You know now, African time.
No more African time. And no more pancaking of face during office hours. At the end of the day, we will lose valuable time. We will not make progress. If we want to move this nation forward, we must treat business as business and respect time. Change begins with me.
Thank you, sir. I'm sorry. Can we go for the meeting now, Chief?
Later.
This message is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency in conjunction with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Marketing of broadcast media products requires special skills which can only be acquired through training and experience. NTA TV College Jos is therefore organizing an intensive 3-week course on modern trends in broadcast media marketing. The course will equip participants with necessary skills to deal with contemporary marketing challenges and competition in the broadcast media. It is an essential course for marketers in the broadcast media to sharpen their skills and improve their capacities. Date 23rd April to 10th May 2019. Venue NTA Television College Refuge Jos. Course fee 100,000 naira per participant, accommodation inclusive. For more inquiries, please contact us on 0803 314 4383 or 0806 980 9807. NTA TV College Jos, training you to be the best you want to be.
If you hear a bomb explosion or gunshots of an active shooter, that might be a terror attack. At such times, always remember 3 action words. Run, hide, report. Don't try to run towards the terror scene to save the situation, because there might be a second bomb blast or another attack. Run far away and take cover. Make sure you are safe first. Yes, it is in our nature to sympathize over the hurt, but remember, only trained personnel can help in such situations. When in a secured environment, promptly call relevant authorities and help will come. For anonymous reporting, call 09630-3250-5 or 0813-2222-106. If you see something, say something. Nigeria unite against terrorism. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
From Nigeria's capital city, Abuja, this is The Diaspora, the program that brings you up to speed with Nigerians and their well-being around the world. Welcome to the program. Now, this week we are mostly in the United States of America, where we bring you reports of Nigerians doing very well in that country. We have the report of a Nigerian who is the deputy mayor of a city in the United States. Also on the program, there is a report of an 8-year-old Nigerian chess champion who is blowing headlines in the United States. We also have reports of other Nigerians from around the world. Welcome to the program. I am Makut Simon Macham. We begin with the deputy mayor of Newark in New Jersey, United States of America. He's a Nigerian. His name is Ugo Nwokoro. Now, during our last visit to the United States, we had an encounter with him where he told us about his assignment, his rise to that position, and of course, what it means to be a Nigerian holding that position. Here is Deputy Mayor of Newark in New Jersey, Ugo Nwokoro. It's a pleasure.
The pleasure is all mine. Welcome to my humble office.
The story is that there are very few of you, few Nigerians holding the kind of office you're holding, of the deputy mayor in America. Is that true?
Not quite. Actually, it's not few of us. It's actually one of us. I just happen to be the one. Not just Nigerian, but the first African-born deputy mayor in the whole of the United States.
Tell us the story. How did you get here?
How did I get here? Just like everybody else, I came from Nigeria, born and raised in Nigeria. So I immigrated here in search of greener pastures, like everybody else. But then, one of my degrees is in political science, which I tried to use
in Nigeria. So I came back to the US, and it was just by chance. You know, I just went to pick up my kids from school. So my boss now, the mayor that I serve under, Mayor Ras J. Baraka, so was campaigning and sharing his posters, you know, with, you know, parents that are coming to pick up their school children too, like myself. So he approached me, he gave me his flyer, you know, and then I engaged him. He said, Ugo, from our conversation, you know, the first time I met you and now, I think you're a good leader. There's something I want you to do. I said, what is that? I said, you don't want a fundraiser? He said, no, that's not what I want you to do for me. I said, what then do you want me to do for you? He said, Ugo, I want you to help me organize Africans. Now, we don't think Africans, you know, have been well organized when it comes to voting here. So we formed United African Forum, which became our platform. And I became the chairman of United African Forum. So there are people from Africa, all our members from all parts of Africa. So we did a very successful fundraiser. We raised, you know, some serious money, and he was very impressed. So he was also very impressed when we called him that we had to negotiate. That yes, we are working, you know, for you, supporting your campaign, but after the campaign, what happens? That we Africans need to be part of the administration. That one of the things that we told him that never happened in the city of Newark, the city, though we have a lot of well-qualified jurists from Africa, none has ever become a judge. So we told him that we want, when you win and you go to City Hall, Africans will join you. So he said, well, that he's going to, because his slogan then was, when I become mayor, we become mayor. So now, but then after the transition committee, he said, Ugo, you're going to City Hall with us. I said, going to City Hall. I said, you know, I thought he was kidding. Before you know, he appointed me a deputy mayor. So, and that was heavy, because it's never happened before.
So what kind of responsibility do you carry day by day?
Well, the responsibility, the basic, the number one is the office. I'm in charge of 3 diaspora commissions. There's a Newark African Commission, there's a Newark Hispanic Commission, there's a Newark Caribbean Commission. These are 3 diaspora commissions. Their job is to help us to feel the pulse of their various demographics and then bring report to us in terms of policies that they want us to reflect in the city ordinances so that I can write a report and present that to the mayor. That's number one. So, but the main reason for having this office is to help new immigrants, newcomers to the city of Newark, foreigners that are relocating, or immigrants that are immigrating to the city of Newark, to help them navigate the system. Because often the time people come from different parts of the world, they don't speak the language, okay? So they don't speak the language. So they don't even understand the resources. They don't know how much resources that are available for them, okay? So we, from this office, we welcome them.
How close are you to the community here?
Well, first and foremost, I never lost my roots. So I'm usually in Nigeria 4 or 5 times a year. In the city of Newark, city of Newark is very unique. We've made city of Newark feel like home. There's nothing, you know, by way of our culture, our food, that we are lacking in the city of Newark. So we have a lot of Nigerian restaurants. We have Nigerian stores where we buy our food. So we have quite a large number of Nigerians. So we even have some of our ethnic, some churches that we worship in our ethnic languages. Like I belong to the Igbo Catholic Community Church. So when we first started the church, you know, we couldn't read and write Igbo. So, but we had the priest that would do the mass in Igbo. So we are now forced, as a pioneer, we are now forced to go and start learning how to read Igbo. And thank goodness, I was one of those. So now I can read and write Igbo.
which I couldn't do when I was in Nigeria, but I do it here. So you know, these little things, and so I've never lost my roots. Instead, I've enhanced my roots just by being here. We've now realized the importance of who we are as a people. If you look closely, you see how I'm dressed. So we allow that too in the city of Newark. I can dress. This is a well-recognized suit, mode of dressing, corporate outfit. So I proudly dress like this to work.
You know our cities in Nigeria.
Right.
This is Newark. I don't know the population here.
The population is about 300,000.
Okay. So what does it take to manage a city? Is there a comparison we can make?
Oh yes, there is. Well, the comparison to make is you have to departmentalize properly. Then you have to let the rule of law work. It's just because of the rule of law, you know. So because the rule of law is highly in place, so that is why myself as a deputy mayor, though I drive an official car, if I get to the light, I have to stop. I can't just drive through the light because it's the deputy mayor's car. The mayor will not do that. Guess what? I can't drive my own car when it has a siren, you know, and the lights, the police lights are on. I can't. Even though it's my own official car. The only time the light can come on is when a police officer is driving it. And there has to be a reason to turn it on. The reason is not because he's transporting a deputy mayor. The reason, there has to be some sense of emergency. And let's say the deputy mayor is in a hurry to catch up a certain function, or there's something official, not for the personal benefit of the deputy mayor. You know, so little things like that. So we in Nigeria, at times when we're in a position of authority, we think the people should serve us, as against you serving the people. You see, you are hired by the people. Your job is to serve the people. So in America, here in Newark, we consider ourselves as servant leaders. You know, so we show example how we want them to behave in the city of Newark. You know, so if people will see that service, being in public office is about service. It's about serving the people, not the other way around. It's about people having access to you. I mean, you walked in here, how many security people did you see? None. You have access. You know, people should have access to their leaders. We run an open door policy, you know, not because we're not security conscious, but, you know you are safe. The officers are there, you know, but they don't stop once you come in. Once you go through the security downstairs, then you come in here, and then, you know, you can interact. The mayor, you could see him walking by. So the thing is that people need to understand that leadership or occupying an elective office is about service. It's not where you come to enrich yourself. You just come and help people. There are people, my greatest joy every day when I get home and sleep well is when I look back, you know, take count of what I've done in a day. I see different people with issues that I've helped to solve. I helped the family, you know, not feel so afraid or realize things, you know, that ordinarily they could not have known. When we launched the municipal ID card, we had grown men crying, tears, thanking me, tears of joy. Oh, Deputy Mayor, thank you. Deputy Mayor, imagine in America, grown man, can I hug you? He was saying it in Spanish, even though I couldn't hear, but my interpreter was around. He said, Deputy Mayor, they want to hug you. I said, sure, why not? You know, and they were crying. So things like that gives you joy, not how much money that you've taken, money that you should use for public good, you know, but then you convert it into your personal use. Nigeria is a great country, believe me. If we can put the resources we have in Nigeria for public good, everybody will be happy. I probably would not be here if we would do that, you know, because there's no place like home. Nigeria still remains my home.
So let me ask you about Nigerians here. What do they represent for you? Do they make you proud? Do they bring shame to you and to Nigeria? Tell me about Nigerians here. What do you represent?
I would say 95% of Nigerians here bring proud. You know, make me proud, bring joy, and I'm happy they are here. And then you might not be up to 5%, but I'm just saying, you know. So I just said that to buttress the point that Nigerians here are making all of us proud, especially here in New Jersey. New Jersey is considered the bedrock of Nigerian politics in the diaspora. And we have data to show for it. New Jersey is one state where, of course, obvious, the deputy mayor is from here in New Jersey. New Jersey also, in the city of Newark, as a matter of fact, we have produced the first African-born George Judo Basinkama, who is also a Nigerian. You know, so he is from here. So New Jersey, after we did all this in the city of Newark, a neighboring, not too far from here, a city from us called Franklin Township, produced the first African-born councilman, Councilman Charles Onyejaka. So Nigerians here are doing very, very well. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure talking.
It's an honor of mine. Thank you for coming. And keep up the good work, by the way.
It's either I come to be mayor here or you go to be
please, okay. No, I'd rather we all stay in Nigeria. Nigeria, you see, Nigeria is a great place.
Go on, Deputy Mayor, and keep making Nigeria proud. And of course, make the United States very proud, so as more light will be shown on Nigerians who are there with capacity to do the best for their new home. Now from the United States, let's come back to West Africa, specifically to Benin Republic, where recently Nigeria's Foreign Affairs Minister Geoffrey Onyama visited that country as the special envoy of President Muhammadu Buhari, who is ECOWAS chairman, to meet with the country's president, Patrice Talon. Now, after that meeting, we spoke with Nigeria's ambassador to that country, and he told us about the visit and indeed what is up with Nigerians in that country.
Our President Buhari, have also demonstrated leadership in Africa and leadership particularly in the ECOWAS region by ensuring that we restore peace into any part of West Africa. You know very well, apart from being the president of ECOWAS, if there is any insecurity, if there is anything that is against peace in Benin Republic, you know that Nigeria will be the first point of contact. And therefore, we need peace here. And therefore, it's better for us to prevent it. This is what we are taking now. What the president has done is what we call preventive diplomacy. We want to prevent the situation from going to the extent of creating a crisis. And I think the president has come at a very good time so that they maintain peace, the opposition and the other people can also, all of them can be inclusive. Democracy is about inclusiveness.
Tell us about Nigerians in Benin Republic. How are they doing? How many are they? What are they doing? And what's their conduct here?
We're very close to 5 million. And all of them are doing well. They have fully integrated themselves with the system here. A lot of them have been here for more than 50 years. And we have generations of Nigerians, those who even migrated from before the colonial time. And some of them still refer themselves as Nigerians. They've not forgotten home. Even in this last election, they participated. Even though there is no diaspora voting, they went to Badagry to cast their vote. So, and they are law-abiding. They abide with the law of the land here.
Now for our diaspora of the week, let's go back to the United States of America, this time in New York City, where an 80-year-old Nigerian chess champion, Tani Tolua, is making Nigeria very proud and breaking the headlines in that country. My colleague Daniel Aderie has put together this report on our diaspora of the week.
Nigerian boy Tanitoluwa Adewumi has emerged winner of the statewide New York's Chess Championship in the third grade category. Adewumi, who lives in Manhattan homeless shelter with his family, won the competition with a brilliant performance. Tani started learning chess last year alongside his classmates and then went on to join his school's chess club. Despite only learning chess just about a year ago, he was able to win his category. At the New York State Chess Championship, though he started out as the lowest rated member of the club, he quickly improved and is now bringing his school statewide attention. Prior to becoming the champion, he won 7 trophies which stand by his bedside. Now he says he wants to be the youngest grandmaster. This title is currently held by Sergei Karjakin of Ukraine, a chess prodigy who qualified for the title at the age of 12 years and 7 months. As a result of this feat, former U.S. President Bill Clinton has invited 8-year-old Nigerian chess champion Tanitoluwa Adewumi and his parents to his office.
Next on the program is Diaspora News. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Diaspora and Foreign Affairs, Abike Dabiri-Erewa, has said that Nigerian diaspora health experts will henceforth be mobilized to provide solutions at home. Speaking at an event by Nigerian healthcare professionals in London, Abike Dabiri says all gaps to their involvement are being closed.
How can we have you, the best in the world, and the state of healthcare in Nigeria is? That is the challenge to every one of us. Now there's a Diaspora Commission, a one-stop agency to deal with diaspora. President Buhari set that up because he believes in you. So we're going to work to ensure that these brains do something back home, that you're going to contribute to your country, and together, we're going to build a Nigeria of our dreams. For the medical profession, along with the Minister of Health, Dr. Lowe, we have a program, Diaspora Professional Healthcare Initiative.
In another development, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Diaspora and Foreign Affairs, Abike Dabiri-Erewa, has eulogized 8-year-old Nigerian chess champion Tanitoluwa Adewumi for his feat in New York, United States. In a statement by her Special Assistant on Media Affairs, Abdurrahman Balogun, Dabiri says the young Nigerian diasporan again proves that Nigerians have the great potentials to lead in every human endeavor wherever they find themselves. And in Canada, more tributes have continued to pour in for late Professor Pius Adesomi, who died in an Ethiopian airplane crash.
We're remembering Pius Adesomi because he went on the airplane to somewhere, and then after his airplane crashed and he died. A great working man. He taught me how to speak French, and he taught me how to read.
One of the things I respect about Pius is that he was a thinker, he was a scholar, but he was also a doer. He was traveling all over the world, making a difference, inspiring our students. He embodied all that was best about the academy as a force for good.
He was more like a teacher to us, because professors, they lecture, but Pius teaches you and gives you the skills and picks you to join communities that are going to enhance those skills, right?
He was fearless, and he was somebody who pushed the envelope in a lot of ways, especially as a black academic in a predominantly white institution. That is, in and of itself, is a radical departure from what you usually see at the university and the academy as a whole, and for that we'll forever be grateful to him.
Was the dean who hired him at Carleton back in 2005, and he started in 2006. Right, he was very insightful. He knew how to speak truth to power, as the saying goes, but he did it with wit. And if ever there was someone who lives up to the expression, the pen is muddier than the sword, it was Pius. He wrote so well.
When I think about Pius as a man who loves words and the way he used words, I think one of the things we could do is to begin to have an annual lecture or event that we can say this is Pius Adesomi's annual seminar or lecture that brings us together to talk about those issues he has advocated for.
It was interesting how he's been able to bring us together, because
It's been a long time I've seen such a large gathering of Nigerians from all over. I wish that can continue.
He blurred the boundaries between age, race, creed, or anything, and he didn't also know ethnicity.
Was a people's person. He came to Canada, became a Canadian citizen, and then he touched so many people. Just look at the way people have been talking and what people have been saying concerning him. It's been a wonderful time. But even though he ended like this, as sudden as it is, I wouldn't exchange anything for what he was and what he is to me and to members of the family. We're going to miss him a lot.
And that's Diaspora this week. Thank you very much for watching. I am Makut Simon Macham. On behalf of everyone who has made this program possible, we appreciate your company and we invite you to join us on the next edition. Bye for now.
NTA, you can't be done.
This is the network service of the NTA.
Hi there, and welcome to The Next African Chef. My name is Anado, and I'm your host on the show. Last week, we took you on a journey on how we selected our last 16 finalists, and today they're in the house and ready to cook up a storm. Let's take you on a recap of last week's episode. Don't go away, we'll be right back. Welcome back. This is still The Next African Chef. We have 16 finalists that have been separated into two groups, Batch A and Batch B. Today we'll be having Batch A in the house, and Batch A has been split into 4 further teams to see how well our contestants do working in a team. Are you ready to meet your contestants? I am. But before we start, please meet our judges.
I'm Chef Ernst.
And hi, I'm Chef Desse.
Today, we'll be expecting so much from the chef. They are amateurs. And in today's challenge, we're going to be throwing some stuff that they are familiar with, but have not been able to work together with it before. So we'll be looking at snail, we'll be looking at yam, we'll be looking at tomatoes.
I'm looking for them to wow me, to be honest, because what they've got is they've got something that is very popular. Everybody, you know, the snail, everybody work with snail, everybody likes snail, or most people like snail. So we want to give them something they're familiar with, but at the same time we were expecting something different, because it's a cooking show.
I hope they're able to come up with something really
too.
Amazing.
I hope so too, and I'm so looking forward to it. You can now open your mystery box.
When you open that pot, what you see in the inside, you have to cook with it. If it's not enough behind you, you have the pantry. You can use anything you want. You also have the fridge. You can use anything you want. At the end of your time, we will have 2 different courses coming out from you, 1 starter and 1 main. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Everything you find in the pot, you must use.
And your time starts now.
I'm sure from where I'm standing, you can almost tell what we have for you on the program today. Nigerians are one of the most dogged, resilient, and hardworking people on earth. However, we also love to relax. Now that the cat is finally out of the bag, this is officially welcoming you to the program, This is Nigeria, where we showcase to you different aspects of living in the country. My name is Nasir Umar, and I know you'll be wondering where Ijoma is. She visited one of the popular parks in Abuja City some time ago, and we'll be right here after this.
This is the Millennium Park. During its commissioning, Queen Elizabeth, along with other Commonwealth heads of government, symbolically planted the Ravenala madagascariensis palm, commonly known as the traveler's tree, as a mark of good faith and environmental awareness. Today, those trees stand tall, adding beauty and color to the park. The Millennium Park has become one of the main attractions of the city of Abuja, bringing together thousands of people each day. Entering the park, a rectilinear path completely paved with Roman white travertine ushers the public into its green areas. Series of fountains run alongside this white mark, refreshing the public during the hot days. This path visually links the enormous cotton tree, a holy tree of Abuja, situated on one side of the park, with Aso Rock, the holy rock of Abuja. The path is also separated by huge polygonal pools, while the roads are crossed by series of multicolored bushes going from yellow to red with a very particular wave-like course. Besides this fascinating style garden layout, what makes the Millennium Park so popular among residents of Abuja?
It's a place you can stay and feel free. There's maximum security now, unlike before. So that's why I choose to stay here, because I love the environment.
I came to relax this Saturday, this weekend, you know. I've noticed that people even do weddings here and birthday parties, end of the year parties.
I'm here to just catch fun, to enjoy nature. I like nature environment.
I'm here for my schools, my high school's end of year party. It's a nice place, very nice. Very nice, serene. You can sit out with your family and...
A typical visit to the park, especially at the weekends, is quite a thrilling spectacle, as the place is usually a beehive of activities. Families enjoy picnics together. Young men and women are seen in their pockets relaxing. Ceremonies such as weddings have become a recurring feature. Even children are joyfully engaged. The park sits on 80 acres of land, and this vastness encourages healthy living, as some forms of exercise such as walking and the game of football are common practice. The Millennium Park offers the opportunity to savor the freedom and freshness that comes with nature. And while at it, be sure to grab some light refreshment just before you get in. Now, Nasiru, can you believe that the Millennium Park has been existing officially for 14 years? And you know, one would think that in such a long time, the novelty would have worn off and the frequency of human activity at the park would have reduced considerably.
Certainly not. Even when I visited with my family during the last Salah celebrations, it was wonderful, especially meeting some other families too in the park.
Indeed, recreation is increasingly becoming a huge part of our identity as Nigerians, and it is not limited to the working population alone. In our next feature, Tobe locates a park that will leave the children oohing and eyeing with excitement.
Would you like to spark your children's imagination or create a lasting, impressive memory that would last a long time? Then come with me as we take a tour of the National Children's Park and Zoo, Abuja.
All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. This was illustrated with the melodious noise of both children and adults at the National Children's Park and Zoo, Asokoro.
Yeah.
Commissioned on the 30th September 2001 by former President Olusegun Obasanjo for the benefits of the Nigerian children. This exciting park is situated in the northeastern part of the Abuja city and sits under the shadow of the Aso Rock Hills. Like the name implies, the National Children's Park and Zoo is divided into two: the playground for kids and the zoo, which is home to varieties of animals, making the park a great attraction for tourists. Our tour guide led us around the park and broadened our knowledge about some of these animals.
The buffaloes, they are one of the most dangerous animals in the world, and they hardly pull down even with one lion. It has to be like 2 or 3 lions before they can pull down a buffalo. because they're very, very strong animals. They attack with their horns.
They're called bush cows.
Bush cow. So we have different animals here from different species. We have the wildebeest, we have the impala, we have the ostriches, and some gazelles. But here we can see ostriches. The ostrich are the biggest bird in the world, and they are the fastest two-legged animals. And they are the only birds that have 2 toes on each foot among the whole birds we have in the world. And they have wings, but they cannot fly. They lay eggs, once in a year, around November, December. And a single one can lay about 20 eggs, wow, which is about 2.5 kilograms, 1 egg. Right.
Some of them answer to pet names.
Romeo. Romy boy. Juliet, come. The problem with Juliet, she's too scared.
Juliet! Juliet!
Open to both young and old at weekdays and weekends. The National Children's Park and Zoo at Sokoro has a modern spacious enclosure for animals such as baboons, tortoises, crocodiles, buffaloes, camels, monkeys, and a lot others.
I really like the environment because it's very neat. You cannot perceive any odor. You know, the animals here are clean and the environment is beautiful.
This is my first time coming here, and I was really shocked to see that this kind of thing exists in Abuja. We've been going everywhere. Someone just said, there is a zoo in that place, there is a zoo there, please just go and check it out. And we came here. It's quite impressive to see that this kind of thing exists in Abuja. Quite impressive.
Not forgetting to let you know that the park also has a beautiful lake where you can relax. Because of endangered species and other interesting animals, the park, which is surrounded by nature and a serene atmosphere, has recorded high influx of tourists within Abuja and its environs.
Oh yes, it does. I needed a quiet time after having so much fun at the zoo, and I went by the lakeside to relax. Ijoma and Nasir, do you also know that the male ostrich is usually black while its female is gray-colored, and that the land tortoise can live up to 200 years old? Feeling good with myself, I got this piece of information from the National Children's Park and Zoo.
Honestly, Tobe, it is information like this that keeps me in constant awe of our creator. I mean, it's just simply unfathomable.
And definitely, this is something I'm taking away from the show today. We are now moving on to another interesting recreation center in Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. Nene takes us to Jabi Lake and Park.
The word recreation stems from the Latin word recretio, meaning that which refreshes or restores. To workers, it is considered as a period of light or restful activity, voluntarily chosen, that permits one to regain energy after a heavy work and to go back to work renewed. To those who do not have work, including the growing retiree population, who actually needs recreation in order to give their life a meaning, it can be viewed as an activity that people engage in when at leisure for enjoyment or usually to restore the body and mind. In Abuja City, one of the interesting parks and recreation centers is the Jabi Lake and Park. Jabi Lake, a man-made lake in Jabi district of Abuja, is located between Jabi and Kado districts. It is about 10 minutes drive from the city center. Beside the lake is a park called Jabi Lake Park. This park is the toast of fun seekers within and around the Federal Capital Territory. It is encircled by water with beautiful scenery. The park offers the closest exquisite beach experience. Beside the lake is a cool garden that provides attractive scene and inexpensive fun for families and lovers. In the park are many recreational activities that can attract local and foreign fun seekers. Indeed, the patronage is high, especially during festive periods, by picnickers, birthday celebrants, and other event seekers. This recreation park provides games like water sports, beach snooker, table tennis, bicycle riding, ping pong game, happiness game, jumping castle, and others. Families interested in giving memorable activities to their children and other loved ones do access comfortable speedboat cruise, horse riding, jumping castle, skinning game shows, dancing competition, and many others at very affordable prices.
I love this business so much because from small, I love riding a horse. So from there, I put it in practice, and now I have so many. I will not disclose the figure, but I'm okay. I'm okay.